excuse me, I was just reading some of my own poetry. But maybe a bit of that in a bit. I thought I would do another video, my friends, because I haven't done one for a bit. Because principally there's nothing much to report in my life, but then on the other hand there is. As you know, normally I like to do videos about my time down in Shropshire and doing up an old place. But there's not a lot I can do down there at the moment because it's not exactly down tools, but it's more a question of not having very much money. The house you see me in now is actually for sale, and when that goes, of course, that will release funds in order to, I suppose, liberate some tasks, some missions down in Shropshire. But I'm smoking a rather nice Dunhill pipe presently. You can tell Dunhills because they have a little white spot on them. It's an old briar. Now, what I like about this particular pipe is that it, as you can see, it's not very large. And it doesn't have a particularly big bowl. So it's light, you know. One could keep it in one's mouth without ruining one's teeth, which at my age is very important. What I thought I'd talk about today is just where I am in life. I'm still in Yorkshire. This weekend I'm going to go down to the cottage in Shropshire because I'm meeting with the people from the electricity board. But before they can put in electricity, I have to clear trees because they're in the way of the line, as it were. And so I've got a number of jobs. I've got to meet with the chap from the electricity board. I've got to meet with the tree surgeons to get down the offending trees. And that's about as much as I can do. I've got some other things. I might try and get a quote for putting a door in the workshop and make that a secure area. And I might get a roofer over as well, because do some guttering and fix a few slates. Well, there isn't a vast lot I can do, but I hope to be down there a week or two. And as I say, I've been sort of stuck up here, but I haven't been idle. I have completed my novel. Now, I've entitled this video, "Who the Hell is James Middlemarch?" or something like that. And I suppose I have to owe my viewers something of an explanation, and also perhaps my friends and followers on Facebook and Substack. James Middlemarch was my stage name. I won't give you my life story, but I used to be an Anglican priest and found that not only was I ungovernable, I also had a problem with the direction in which the Church of England was going, and as such, when I left the army as a padre, as a chaplain, I found myself unemployable, really. Such was the conservatism of my views. And so I became a Roman Catholic, a lay Roman Catholic, I might add. I was quite happy with that. I was received in the Latin Rite, in the extraordinary form, and confessed in the extraordinary form. And my first communion and first mass were in the extraordinary form. And I've rather sort of stuck with that for most of my life. And this was long before I became a Catholic priest, of course. But back to the initial question, who the hell is James Middlemarch? Well, James Middlemarch was my stage name. Because you see, when I came out of the army and I couldn't be a priest anymore, what I then did was I took up acting. And that's quite appropriate, because many times when I used to be a priest, people said I'm like an actor acting like a priest rather than being one. So that was my stage name, and I was quite successful, moderately, for a Z-lister. I was on stage a lot, did adverts, did various films, various series, various movies, and I did all right, really. Lots of nice, big, chunky speaking parts. I was the lead in some films. But anyway, that's by the by. Or is it? No, it's not quite by the by. That is why I'm addressing you today, to explain who this James Middlemarch is. I mean, my name is the Reverend John Constantine T. That's my legal name, and I suppose that's my real name. So anyway, there we go. That's the story behind James Middlemarch. And so my time is principally now dealing with finishing my novel, Hunter's Moon, working title. That is now being formatted and getting ready for the publisher. It will take some time yet. Some people are keen to read it. I've been leaking chapters onto Substack, www.jamesmiddlemarch.co.uk. So if you want to see a little bit of that, some initial chapters, I'm releasing the initial chapters early, just to pique people's interest. And also my poetry. I've revisited poetry. I first discovered poetry when I was doing A-level English Lit many years ago. And I remember trying to write a poem. And I was sitting on a park bench opposite the fish and chip shop on a village green in Huntingdonshire. And I penned a poem called Ode to Mother Earth. And I remember showing it to my teacher the following day, who thought I'd nicked it, that I was a plagiarist. So good. So one says it was flattering, but it did rather put me off poetry. And so I thought, this is too much of a palaver. I didn't bother anymore. Anyway, I've revisited it and I've written a few. I'm going to read a bit of poetry to you now. This one is only a short little ditty, really. I stirred in the night. It was about 3 a.m, and it came to me. I was unable to get back off again. And so I came downstairs and made a pot of tea and wrote it out before the poem actually left me. So it is what it is. It looks better in print when you're reading it rather than when I'm sat here looking at it. But I'm going to have a go anyway. And see what you think. But that's about where I'm up to in my life. There's nothing else to report. I spend all my time showing visitors around this place to buy it, which means I'm constantly in a little pinny with a feather duster, which I don't like because by nature I'm bone idle. And unfortunately this place now is spotless. It's clean, it is tidy, and has to remain so with all these visitors. After a fashion. Anyway, I'll read you the poem. See what you think. Drop a line. You can say nasty things if you want. I'm sure some people will. This is only one of my poems. We'll see how we get on. I shouldn't really be smoking a pipe while reading a poem about holy religion, so I shall put it down. Right, where are we? It's handwritten in this notebook of mine. It's called Et Incarnatus Est, which if you're of the Latin persuasion, you will understand exactly what it is, and I'm not going to explain it to you. Well, maybe not everybody does, and maybe not everybody listening is a Catholic. Et Incarnatus Est is the point where we talk about and became man, and we genuflect, that is, get down on one knee. And of course the priest does it at the last gospel as well, and the people do. And that's the Latin.
Old wine from an old cask, old priest about an old task, old silver upon old oak, old missal and kneeling folk, old love from ancient tide, old love from our Saviour's side, old love forever new, old love for me and you, new beginning and new life, new hope with newborn child, new dawn upon mankind, new love with man doth bind. Old Mass forever blessed, old truth forever kept, old Church forever one. Et Incarnatus Est.
Just a small one there. I've got a much longer one which I'd like to read to you on the next video. That's called The Recusant. That's much longer, a little bit more complex in metre. Probably a better poem, I don't know. But that one's quite nice with those very simple rhyming couplets. Well, perhaps I might see you on the next video. Do consider liking, subscribing, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, all those things. Goodness knows I need it. There's something rather odd about writing poetry, because it's a very private thing. I shouldn't really be reading it out, but then on the other hand, it is quite nice to get one's poems out there. And I described it to somebody as like walking naked through Waitrose. Not that I have any plans on doing that anytime soon. But anyway, good to see you. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video. That's over and out from me. God bless. May God keep you. May He bless you. May He shine upon you. And I hope you're all just having a great day or evening. I shall read a little bit more of my own poetry. Take care.